Today we are going to continue lesson 8, the verb. In the previous class we studied about the verb and the different types of verbs, in which we studied about the transitive verb in detail. In today's class we are going to study about intransitive verb and its types. Intransitive verb. Dear children, in the previous class we studied that transitive verbs are having an object to complete the meaning of the verb. But in intransitive verb there is no object. A verb which is not having an object is called intransitive verb. Intransitive verbs are of two types. The first one is verbs of action. Verbs of action. For example, the telephone rang. What is the subject in this sentence? The telephone is the subject. And what is the verb in this sentence? Rang is the verb which expresses the action of ringing. This is the subject and rang is the verb. Dear children, this sentence is complete with the subject and the verb. No other words are needed to complete the meaning of this sentence. As the verb here shows the action, this verb is verb of action because it shows the action of ringing. So it is the action verb. And in this sentence, no other words are needed to complete the meaning of the verb. We can easily understand the telephone rang. So, as this verb is not having any object, we say the verb is intransitive verb. It is intransitive verb because it is not having an object. Now, dear children, can you see the example on the board? The lotus is the national flower of India. Can you recognize the subject in this sentence? Yes. The lotus is the subject in this sentence. Lotus is the subject in this sentence. What is the verb here? Is. Is the verb and it expresses the state of being. As it expresses the state of being, it is called a verb of being. Also, the verb is links the subject and the rest of the sentence. Here we can see the lotus is the subject and the verb is linking the subject and the other sentence is the other sentence. Dear children, here we can see the phrase the national flower of India. National flower of India is a phrase which refers to the subject. It refers to the subject. So, the national flower of India is the complement. The sentence will be incomplete without this phrase. If we simply say the lotus is, though there is a subject, there is a verb, the sentence is incomplete. We need some more words to complete its meaning. So these words are called complements because they are completing the meaning of the sentence. And when the word or group of words are used to complete the meaning of the sentence, they are called the complements. So dear children, as this verb is not having an object, it is also intransitive verb. But dear children, in the previous class, I told you that we ask a question soon after the verb to find out an object. Here, if we ask the question, the lotus is what? Surely we'll get the answer. The national flower of India. But at the same time, I told you one more step. We compare our answer with the subject. Here, though we are getting the answer of what? That is the national flower of India. But we need to compare this answer with the subject. And as we compare this answer to the subject, it refers to the subject itself. Lotus itself is the national flower of India. When we say lotus, we know it is the national flower. When we say the national flower of India, we know it is a lotus. So in this case, answer of what is not considered as an object. We do not say it object, we call it a complement. So as this verb is not having an object, this is intransitive verb. And as this verb is linking the subject and rest of the sentence, also it expresses the state of being. It is the verb of being. Intransitive verbs can be of two types. First one is the verb of action, with the verb which indicates the action. And another one is verbs of being, which expresses the state of being. Dear children, other verbs of being are, am, is, was, were, became and become. All these are the verbs of being, and all these verbs take complement to complete sense of the sentence. Dear children, verbs of being are also known as incomplete verbs or linking verbs. Verbs of being can be also called incomplete verbs or the linking verbs. Why we call them the linking verbs? They are known as linking verbs because they link between the two parts of the sentence. They join, they link between two parts of the sentence. Let us see this example. India is the subject, is the verb, my country is a complement. India is my country. In this sentence, we can see the subject and the complement is joined with this verb. Is linking the two parts of the sentence to subject and complement. So the verb is, it is verb of being and it is also known as linking verb. Dear children, if we ask a question, India is what? Usually we get the answer, my country. But when we compare it with the subject, we see that the answer refers to the subject itself. As it refers to the subject itself, we do not call it an object, we call it a complement. Because without using this phrase, the sentence will be incomplete. So dear children, when the complement refers to the subject, we say it is subjective complement. There are two types of complements. One is the subjective complement, another one is the objective complement. When complement refers to the subject itself, when it says something about the subject itself, it is called the subjective complement. It is called the subjective complement. And in a sentence, when this complement refers to the object of the verb, and further I'll give you the example. So when the complement says something about the object of the verb, it is known as the objective complement. Now dear children, some verbs of action can also take a complement after them. After the action verbs, we can see the complement. Without a complement, in some of the cases, the sentence is incomplete in action verbs also. Let us see these examples. The people made him the leader. Let us see in this sentence what is a verb, whether it is transitive verb or it is intransitive verb, what is the object, what is the complement, and what kind of complement it is. We'll study all this through this example. First of all, let us recognize the subject in this sentence. What is the subject? The subject is the people. What is the verb in this sentence? Made is a verb in this sentence. We'll continue the process. The people made what? We get the answer. The people made what? The leader. The people made whom? We will see the answer, him. People is the subject, made is a verb, and these two answer. This is the answer of whom and this is the answer of what. And now the next step is to compare our answer with the subject. So him is something different from the people, and the leader is also something different from the people. But here we can see that the leader refers to the word him. The leader refers to the word him. Him is something different from the people. So we say it is an object. It is an object. But these words, the leader refers to the object itself. If we do not use these two words in a sentence, if simply we say the people made him, somewhere the answer seems incomplete. Made him what? There is confusion. So these words are referring to the object itself, and without these words the subject will be incomplete. So these words are not the object, these are the complements. Why these are the complements? Because they are referring to the object itself. So as these words, this complement refers to the object, we say it is objective complement. My dear children, I told you complement is a word or group of words which is completing the meaning of the sentence. And I told you that complements can be of two types, the subjective and the objective. When the complement refers to the subject, it is subjective complement, and when the complement refers to the object, it is objective complement. Let us see another example. The company appointed Mr. Rahman the manager. The company appointed Mr. Rahman the manager. The company is the subject in this sentence. Appointed is the verb in this sentence. The company appointed what or whom? We have to find out the answers. The company appointed what? The manager. The company appointed whom? To Mr. Rahman. And here we can see this answer. Rahman is something different from the company. And if we compare this, the manager. Who is the manager? Rahman himself is the manager. So this is the complement, because without this the sentence will not be complete. The company appointed Mr. Rahman. Again there is confusion. What? The sentence seems incomplete. So the word the manager is giving some additional information about the object here. It refers to the object. So this complement is called the objective complement. Mr. Rahman is the object, and as this complement is referring to the object, we say it is objective complement. It is objective complement. So, dear children, once again we'll revise what we have studied in this chapter from the beginning. That is, first of all, we studied about the verb. What is a verb? Verb refers to an action. It refers to state of being or possession. The words which refers to an action, state of being or the possession are known as verbs. We studied that in every sentence, sentence is having two parts. The first one is the subject and the second one is the predicate. Subject is about what we are talking in a sentence. Object is whatever we speak about the subject is the predicate. Sorry, I said object, it is predicate. Subject and predicate. What about what we are talking, that is subject, and whatever we talk about the subject, that is our predicate. And dear children, I told you that in every sentence there is a verb. Without a verb, the sentence cannot be complete. So, verb is always the part of the predicate. The types of verbs we studied: transitive verb and intransitive verb. Transitive verbs are the verbs which are having an object. Objects complete the meaning of the sentence. And the process we studied, first of all we should find out the subject, then we should know what is the verb, then we should find out the answer of what or whom soon after the verb, and then we should compare our answers with the subject. If it is completely different from the subject, we say our answers are objects. Objects can be of two types: the direct object and the indirect object. Usually the answer of what is the direct object and answer of whom is the indirect object. Then we studied about intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs are the verbs which are not having an object. The verbs which do not have an object are known as intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs can be the verbs of action or can be the verbs of being. And verbs of being are also known as the linking verbs or incomplete verbs. Because why they are called linking verbs? Because they are linking two parts of the sentences. The subject and the complements are linked together with the verb of being. And dear children, I told you the group of words which are used to complete the meaning of the sentence are known as the complement. When this complement refers to the subject, it is known as subjective complement, and when it refers to the object, it is known as objective complement. I hope, my dear children, all of you understood this topic. Please revise this topic at home and write the definitions in your notebook. Thank you.